Okay, now it's time for us to talk about some of the elements that go into your T SQL statements. We'll start off with predicates. Huh? What's that? I can almost hear you ask. I want to make a quick point here. Much of what we'll talk about with databases has a basis in mathematics. It's a whole field of study, and it means some pretty technical and often obscure terms have made their way into our discussions on databases and SQL. We'll see this as we go along. Now, I have to admit that the word predicate is not one that I'm particularly fond of. To be honest, I say that it's a $2 word where a 20-cent word would have done the job better. It's a great example of jargon that we particularly see in IT that really only serves to obscure the point. So what is it exactly? Well, simply put, a predicate is an expression that evaluates to true or false, or in some instances to unknown. For instance, is this green ball that I'm holding right now red? The answer would of course be no, or in SQL terms, false. So predicates are used to test the trueness or falseness of a statement. As an example, now I know we haven't covered this yet, but bear with me for a moment. If I were to use a where clause in my select statement, for example, give me the customers in my customers table where they live in a particular city, say Bogan Central. The where clause here is the predicate. For each row the statement attempts to return, the predicate where city equals Bogan Central is evaluated on a row-by-row basis as either true or false, and the query would only return to me the rows where the statement is true. Please be mindful of null, which we'll discuss in much further detail a little later. This effectively means I don't know what the value is here, and it's certainly not the equivalent of saying zero or an empty string. It's a very different concept when you are searching for data.